Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest Wake County Webisode. Thank you for joining me each week as we talk about how COVID-19 is having an impact on us here in Wake County. Today, we're focusing on how the virus is affecting our public libraries and the work they've done to continue to reach the residents despite the shutdown. Joining me today are Commissioner Susan Evans and Ann Burlingame, Deputy Director of the Wake County Public Library System. And thank you both for joining me, and we appreciate your expertise in these areas today.
Thank you. Hello.
And the Wake County Public Library System is such a gem, so adored, and so popular with Wake County residents. Tell us a little bit about the system before we get started with our questions today.
Sure. Wake County Public Libraries is a decentralized system. We have 22 libraries, soon to be 23 when we finish construction on the Morrisville Library. We have a staff of 252 FTEs. We circulate about 11 million books a year. We have in programming, we do about 11,000 programs a year with an attendance of 425,000 children and adults. And 817,000 people in Wake County have a library card.
Wow, that's a lot about how popular our system is. And like the rest of the county and country for that matter, the library system was hit hard by COVID-19. Can you tell us a little bit about how our libraries were affected?
Sure. You know, the mission of the Wake County Public Library is to instill the love of reading and foster the pursuit of knowledge for the residents of Wake County. And so we have always focused our collections, our programs, our services on meeting that mission. And when we were faced with the onset of the coronavirus, it was kind of surreal for us because we just hadn't had, like most of the country, something like this ever happen. So, you know, the first thing we had to do is suspend the library programming. And that's something that is so dear to our hearts. Like I said, we do 11,000 programs a year. So we suspended that because we felt it was irresponsible to draw people into big groups to the library. And our programs, you know, generally draw, 50 to 200 people. And so we stopped that. And then, when the schools closed, Wake County Public Schools, we felt it was appropriate for the library to also close to the public. And we also wanted to make sure that we were responding appropriately to the governor as well as to you, Commissioner Ford, when you kind of shared that we were going to have a stay-at-home order. The big concern for us at that point was all the books that were out. And we wanted to make sure people didn't feel like, well, I have to get these books back. And we didn't want them to, have returning their books, motivating them to violate the stay-at-home order. So we had 400,000 books out in people's houses, and we just said, just keep the books. You don't need to bring them back. We're already fine-free. And then we just decided eventually we will figure out a way to return them when perhaps it's safer to go out. So it was, it was interesting because people are very responsible with library books. And even when you say there's no fine, they'll say, oh, it's not about the fine, but I should bring them back for others. And we were like, well, the others are all locked in their houses too. So don't worry about it.
Well, and I know you couldn't waste much time before jumping into action and figuring out new innovative ways to reach the residents. What are some of the things that you and your staff had to take action on right off the bat, Ann?
Well, I always say libraries are very local. The only thing libraries have in common throughout the country is we all have books, but every library dealt with this crisis differently. And what we did in Wake County is we decided we needed to maximize those resources that were available for our customers to access at home safely, and that they wouldn't be motivated to leave their homes to come to the library to try and get books. So the first thing I did was we had to reallocate our book budget money from print to e. So we purchased a lot of e-audio, a lot of e-book, e-magazines, and really bought more than we had in the past because we wanted people to have access to those. And as a result, our circulation in E is up 67% from the same time last year, so between March and June. The other thing that we were quite concerned with is those people that didn't have a library card, and they didn't have a chance to come in and get one before we had to close our doors. So we kind of revamped our online registration. So it's self-registration. So people could self-register for a card. We extended the time that it would last, and then they would have access to our digital resources. And then the last thing we did, and we had 15,000 people sign up for the self-registration card. And then the last thing we did is we really did work to make sure every electronic resource that we had was accessible at home. So, for example, we have a lot of people that come in that need support for resume writing. So we really did promote our electronic resource, Cypress Resume. We have a lot of people come in because they have to take a test for the SAT or for their career. So we promoted and made it very easy to use our Testing and Educational Resource Center. We had, a lot of documentaries that are on our Films on Demand. So we kind of promoted that, their documentaries. There are also a lot of PBS series on there. Genealogy, Ancestry.com agreed to let people access Ancestry.com from home. So people could kind of do the genealogy, we hoped, with Heritage Quest and Ancestry.com. But that's really, in the first probably 6 weeks, what we did. We just really worked at making resources available because as a system, we were not accustomed to programming online because we never needed to do that. Everybody came into the library. So more ebooks, more e-magazines, more e-resources, and making and getting a library card very, very easy was really our focus in the beginning.
Well, that's great. And of course, in those days and still today, it's really important that we've opened up the opportunities for people to read and get resources from home. But of course, one of our more popular programs inside the libraries is the Storytime, which you offer for toddlers and preschoolers and families and bilingual visitors. How did you ensure that the community didn't miss out on this important program?
Well, our program, our Young Child program especially, is all based on the curriculum Every Child Ready to Read. And it is its goal is to support children in a successful launch to kindergarten. So we were very concerned that children would lose that edge. So what we did is we just created some programs that could be videotaped, and they're the exact same program. We did baby story time, toddler story time, preschool story time, family story time, and a bilingual story time. And we worked with White County Communications Department, and it was just it continues to be a great partnership because we are building our catalog of these, but we've done 16 of them so far. And the Communications Department comes and films our librarians doing the exact program that they do in the library. So we talk all about, what we're trying to achieve with every child ready to every child ready to read, as well as how important it is, to create experiences that make learning fun. And I got to say, I give so much credit to the librarians because when you're a performer, you get so much energy from your audience. And they didn't have all the little children. And so they were there doing this to White County communication staff, but not quite as much as 50 toddlers. And they did such a good job. And I thought we were going to have to kind of, strongly encourage them to do it. But they've also, my children's librarians, they've signed up and are enjoying it so much. The other thing we did is, we have a lot of school-age children that use our library. And our goal with school-age children in our Every Reader Ready to Succeed program is to really help them get to that third grade reading level. And so we did two things for them. One was our story writing contest for K to 5th grade. And we've done that in the library before, but we moved it completely to online. We had our technology department created a great platform to achieve this. And we had 500 participants, and they wrote and illustrated stories. It was just a great success. And we also purchased a database that does read-alongs, because we use Books with Brian, which is a therapy dog program, as well as educational games. And we wanted kids to continue to want to read aloud. And so this electronic resource has a narrator that reads with the child from home. So it's not the same as coming to the library, but we did feel strongly that we wanted to try and do something to keep children, learning and reading and having a good time and remembering how much fun books are.
Ways to still offer those programs that families rely upon and that kids enjoy very much. Another one of those programs that's very popular is Now Upon Us, as we have gotten into summer. How have you adapted the summer reading program to this new online world?
So, in the library, we always get things done in advance. So our summer reading program was supposed to start in June, and we were finished with the plan March 1st.
Oh, wow.
And so March 15th, we are, have this challenge. What are you going to do? And we had no idea if maybe 1 month we would not be open, 2 months, but at that point, we met with that whole committee. I have two incredible senior managers that manage program for children and adults. And we transitioned an entire summer program that was designed to be presented in the library to virtual. And I cannot give them enough credit, because it's been really well received. We have over 1,000 people are participating in the program. We have also had 7,000 views of some of the games and things we're offering. We've done for teens a virtual escape room online, and we also have performers, some of our big performers. We videotaped their programs, and you can see them online. And we took our school-age program, which is a very hands-on program, and we did that online. And we've had a lot, over 1,000 people participated in that program, just, coming in and hearing the story and then creating the craft. And so we had to be very, we had to think long and hard about, don't have a craft that they wouldn't have the stuff there, which is very hard. But, a lot of stuff revolves around paper towel tubes.
There you go.
But it's gone very well.
And toilet paper tubes?
Oh, yeah. Any tube you can find. We were, coffee filters. But
I just say that because the toilet paper tubes could have been in scarcity, but sorry.
Yeah, really. It was easier to get paper towel.
Yeah. Well, and you and all of our library staff, quite honestly, have done some amazing work in being responsive, and as you've just shared, so innovative in shifting as many programs as possible and services online. But you and I, and just about everybody knows that there's really nothing like the feel of a book in your hands itself. So recently you made an exciting announcement. Why don't you share with us once again what that is?
So we have now are offering our Books on the Go initiative. And so the first experience within this initiative is that our library customers can pick up their reserved books and place more reserves. When we were closed, or we are closed, a lot of people missed programming, but so much of the population was like, can't I just drive by and you throw them at me? Toss them in the garbage. And when your system as large as we are, anything that you want to do takes a little time to plan. And so we decided to try the books on the go, pick up reserves at 8 libraries. And the tough part for us was that we had to create a system where people would come pick them up, because it's contactless. The books are going to already be checked out. The books are in a bag that says books on the go and your name. But we had to figure out a way to get people to know when they should come. And this is where I like to brag about an incredible staff, because what my staff did was they took the appointment service we use for proctoring exams and used it for picking up reserved books. So now people can sign up every 3 hours. We take appointments to come get their books. And it's gone pretty smoothly. We've been a little overwhelmed because the first week we offered it, we had 100,000 requests.
Wow.
And we do want to expand it. I'd like to get it into all the community libraries. That's going to be a little bit because a lot of my staff isn't available right now. But as soon as we get them back, we will. This is going to be kind of our first phase of coming back to our communities and books on the go in every library in Wake County.
It's such a great service, and I'm not surprised that you mentioned 100,000 in the first week. It wasn't quite that many emails that we as commissioners received these last few months, but I can assure you and everybody watching this that the passion for the library system is clearly high here in Wake County, because we heard from a lot of folks that were just excited about getting back into the book circulations and returning books and receiving new books. And so Wake County is definitely about their library system. And Ann, it's so clear that your passion for our library system is one of the drivers of this. And it's so inspiring and even contagious. You and staff always go the extra mile. And you actually referenced this in your last comment. So it prompted me to ask you this question. Talk to you a little bit about what it is a lot of your library staff are doing now in response to COVID-19. You mentioned many of them weren't available. I know what they're doing, but a lot of folks do not. Sure. Why don't you share a little bit about that with us?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So when the Emergency Operations Center became online, a number of our librarians supported it in the call center, but we were kind of still open at the time a little bit. But when we closed, what we found was there was a great need for contact tracing. And librarians are a great fit for contact tracers. And it's a couple of reasons. One, we're in the information business. You know, we are professionals. Librarians have master's degree. We spend a lot of time working with people and answering questions. And sometimes they're very sensitive questions. You know, we have people come in with health concerns and we guide them through finding information. So we knew that our staff could be professional, could also knew how confidential this is. And then the other thing is we are a customer service driven organization. It's all about the people that use our libraries. And so we like to engage. We like to help people. And we miss that when you do everything online. You just miss, seeing those people that, you become very used to that may visit you, multiple times a week. So, the librarians really did take the role seriously. They got excellent training. And but 110 of them are doing this right now, and so right now that limits us a little bit in being able to open the rest of our libraries for books on the go. So that's why we only have it at the 8 libraries. But I think as we transition out, of that service, we want to bring our librarians back, and then we want to really get books on the go throughout the county, because it's important to us that we stay on the radar, because we're going to want to get all our community back, and so we've got to stay in their lives. And you stay in their lives by letting them know that what they want to read and getting it to them quickly is our priority, and that's what we're going to do.
Which goes back into your comment about the library system being so customer service oriented. The innovation and the desire to connect is so crucial. And again, thank you to you and all of the library staff for all that you're doing, particularly the library folks that are doing the contact tracing. The public health piece is still very important at this time, at least of this recording. And it's very important that we continue to try to slow the spread of COVID-19. We're running a little bit low on time here, but wanted to give you a chance, Ann, to share with us what's next for the library system.
So we will look at, like I said, expanding books on the go. And then we are in the process of really looking at how can we open to the community and keep the community safe and keep our staff safe. We know we won't be able to do programming, but we'd love to open so people can come in and browse our collection. So we hope that will be happening sooner rather than later, but that's kind of the focus for us right now.
Got it. Well, thank you, Ann, again, for all that you're doing and all that library staff are doing to bridge the gap for us in this challenging time. I know that my family and I, especially my kids, are very excited to when we can get the doors of our libraries fully open. And hopefully that is soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ann. The library, is a constant in the lives of so many, and it's a true community center. Its traditional presence is greatly missed right now, but the things you've done to maintain services and programming, it's truly wonderful. And we are getting feedback from the community on how much they appreciate it. So thanks.
Well, thank you for your support. You all have really been there for us, and Wake County is a great place to, what do we always say? Work, live, play, and read.
Well said. Well, Commissioner Evans, Ann Burlingame, thank you so much for joining us today and for all the work you're doing on behalf of Wake County citizens.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.